Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the basics of drawing an object in Google Sketchup. So I'm going to start with the line tool. Now what we're going to do is click in a spot and move our mouse. And now we can actually have freedom to put down our line wherever we want. And if you notice, as I'm moving around the line, it's telling me on green axis, on red axis, or on blue axis. Now we notice that red's going this way, green's going like left to right, and blue's going up and down. And this helps us kind of keep our orientation when we're drawing things, especially when we get inside of things. I'm just going to quickly draw a box, and then see how I'm put a line up. And I'm getting my edge of my object, so now I got kind of a three-dimensional folder here. Now I could actually continue drawing my lines all the way around. Now that's kind of a lot of work to draw a cube. Quicker way is actually using the square tool up here. Drawing out both axes at the same time. And then using the push-pull tool and just drawing it up. Now one thing that's real nice about the push-pull tool, it actually can match up to another face. So if I put this on this face here, it actually ends up being the same height as the other object. So that allows us to control the distance really quickly. So other things, we got our circles, so we can make cylinders. Or we can use our arc tool. It gives 2 points and then you draw out the arc. So you can do an edge or a half circle. Again, with our push-pull tool, give us a dimension. Now, another powerful thing with our push-pull tool is we can actually draw on the side of an object and then push through. And I'm going to use again just like this edge so it goes the same distance, so now I got a hole very quickly. We got our hole going through here so that we can see all the way through. Now, we can select an edge, hit the delete button, and look on the inside. Which again allows us to make really interesting objects very quickly. We can also use the eraser tool and just draw across edges and they delete. Sometimes it's a little bit quicker to get the shape that you want. So that is our drawing tools and a little bit with our push and pull tool. Now let's look at our move tool and what it can do. Now this, I can grab this edge, move it up and down or back and just force it. Now that does some really weird stuff with that polygon texture map. Looks kinda neat though. The other thing that we can do is grab specific points and move the point to where we want, which I find really neat for making a quick pyramid. I just draw an X across. And I grab my move tool and then go up on the blue axis. Don't want to go on the side, so then it gets something funky. Now I have a pyramid. Real quick, easy way of getting some objects like that. Rotate. I don't really like using the rotate because it tends to really grab onto edges. Sometimes it's useful. Most of the time I find it not terribly useful for what I want it to do. But this time it is being very useful because I'm grabbing at one point. So it allows me to turn the whole entire thing. But if you notice here, when I grab this point, it only moves half of it. Now I get this really wonked out shape. Now if we want the whole thing to move all at once, I guarantee that it's going to move all at once. It's much easier to use the mouse, the selector tool, select, and make a box around it. Now I don't want this one here, so I'm going to hold shift and just deselect the object. Now I can move and have it rotate around as one object. If I grab that one in the back, missed it. But now my pyramid's sideways without any weirdness. What I prefer to do if I want to actually rotate an object is I actually group it first. So I put a box around it so it's all selected. You know it's selected by the blue polka dots and the dark blue lines on the edges. And then I group it. I make component commands right here. Hit create. And now we got a blue box. And the blue box squares itself to the red and green axis and the blue one. So that's how its geometry works on that. But once we have this, we can go to our move command and it gives these little red X's or plus signs, and we can use those to rotate the object. Rotate over to the side, have that side too, or our top. I find that a little bit quicker and neater way of really controlling our angle. And that's it for our basic object making and manipulation.